In this video, I'm going to show you one of my new favourite resources that I've been playing with, which is ListenWise. So what does ListenWise do? Well, it's 3 to 6 minute long NPR stories, which also have some teaching activities connected to them. So who doesn't love NPR radio stories, right? They're really interesting. I'm often in the car, I hear an NPR story, I'm like, oh, that would be great for my unit on X, Y, and Z. So this brings that to you. One of the things when you first log in, which I'm going to just point out now because it can be a little bit misleading, is that when you go to lessons, you're going to see that it has social studies, science, and ELA. Now, actually, if you scroll through, you're going to see that there are lessons that cover all different topics. So do not let that put you off. For example, I'm going to just type in design, which is the subject I used to teach, and you'll see that there are loads of lessons and loads of audio stories that can link to that subject. So I actually spent some time going through all the stories and kind of pulling out the ones that were interesting to me. Now I'm going to dive into one and show you in a bit more depth the things that come along with that audio story. So if we click on Animal Farm and Satire, this has quite a lot of different activities connected. They don't all have as many. So you're going to see the overview at the beginning along with some topics that are covered, and all images that are shared on here are within the public domain. And you'll see here it tells you the language challenge, if scaffolding is built in, and you can assign a quiz and create an assignment. Now I think these two features you do have to have the premium account. I don't normally promote resources that are not free, but I love this one. I think it's fantastic, so I really recommend getting the paid account. However, the free version, you can do still quite a lot with it as well. So the first thing you're going to see is the audio story, which you can listen to easily.
Much of the world was focused this week on...
You can also slow it down. It slows down by 20%. This story, he's talking particularly slowly anyway, so it sounds a little bit robotic when you slow it down.
Much of the world was focused this week.
But it can really support our ESOL students. Directly below that, you're going to see the transcript. Now, if you're assigning the work to a student, you can choose to show the transcript or not. I think, especially for supporting ESOL students, it's good. Also, when you come to look at the quizzes, you'll see it's not just a recall or finding the correct information. So they're not going to just search for the answers by doing Command F. So, also I like about the transcript, you can click at any part in the story and you will be able to hear from there. So let me just go back to play.
Much of the world was focused this week and dip in celebration of their victory over the wicked.
So you can rehear parts or skip to different sections. It tells you all the speakers along the side as well. So when we go into assignment resources, you're going to see it has some listening comprehension questions. And I believe you see those with the free version as well. So you can have the audio story and then just use these for class discussion or little activities. Has discussion themes as well. They even have a Socrative quiz attached that gives you the code there. Now it gives you vocabulary, and this is again is where it's scaffolded. So it gives you the standard, and then it gives you some tiered vocabulary as well. They have listening organisers, so a T-chart. This one has a fill in the blank, and a language identification. Now, with this, when you assign the student work, you can actually have them do the work as they're listening, which is pretty nice. It also has related lessons down the bottom. So then we go up and it has the teacher's guide, and it gives you absolutely everything you need. I think usually teachers are very creative and can figure out what they want to do forever, but if you're teaching a new topic or maybe you're doing a story that you don't know that much about, I think these are really, really useful. I definitely like things like the curriculum connections and also just some of the prompts that it gives you. So it also tells you how it relates to standards. We're an IB school, so this doesn't really relate to us, but that's useful for many teachers as well. It has this built-in scaffolding, so it has simplified listening comprehension questions, and again it has that tiered vocabulary. And it has some more stuff to help you along the way. So you can see it has loads and loads of information, and then it has the quiz. So you can assign the quiz. I actually like to kind of do this in class as a discussion, so I take these and build it in. However, it tells you all the answers, And when you look, I'm not going to show you my class because it has students' first and last names, but the quizzes, they usually have about 5 questions, but there could be different types of questions. Each question will be different. So, for example, it covers all the things from literal to vocabulary to main idea to inference to point of view to summarize to analyze and for evidence. So you might have a question that has the vocabulary, the inference, point of view, analyze, and evidence. It won't have all 10, but it will have 5 different ones. So it's not just looking for recall, it's actually looking for them to think a little bit more as well. Now, with the assignment is where you can actually give them those resources. So if I go to create assignment, I'm going to put in animal farm test. See here, I can allow students to view and download the transcript if I want. I can show the objective if I really want. I can show both vocabulary so they can see all of it, or I can just give them tier 2. It depends on my preference. So the next part, it says choose the listening activity. I'm going to get them to do fill in the blank, and it's really for English second language, or maybe I'm going to get them to do the T chart. I'm going to go to the next step now. You're going to see it has those quiz questions. Oh, sorry, it has those questions here from the teaching resources, so I can choose to add my own, or I can choose to delete these, and these will be open questions for students to answer. Then I have the materials. Maybe I want them to see these 2 things as well, and again, this is a portrait from Wikipedia, so it's free to use. And then lastly, I can give them some instructions. Do this work now. So I think that's really, really good, especially for things like cover classes. If you are not going to be there, it's so in-depth and it's so interesting. I just really enjoy the lessons that are there. In the premium account, you can make your class and you can assign the due date. What's nice about that is for the listening quizzes, which are obviously multiple choice, it will give you the results from that quiz, but it also gives you an overall. So say you do 10 quizzes with the students on different audio stories, you'll see the percentage they're getting right for inference or for summarising. So that will help you develop those skills. Some other neat features, you can add favourites to go back to. It has current events, so quite recent things. But again, I would just browse through, because even though they're all kind of news stories, the way that NPR works, yes, some of them are really, really going to be linked to things that are happening in the world right now, but so many of them, Farming and Vets, Perfect Measuring Cup, Dads in School, these are kind of things that we can go back to year after year. So hopefully that gives you an overview of ListenWise. Again, really, really recommend it. Just spend some time browsing and seeing all these excellent stuff. Some of my English teachers went through here and they actually realised that basically every book that we do in English has got a story that links. So again, recommend this fully, love it. Thanks.